tired, and that's just because he's in new territory.
First pitch swinging for Ronald Acuna Jr. ripped into the second deck.
Maybe a changeup in on the hands just to get guys started.
That was the slider. Shift on against Acuna Jr. 0-2 pitch coming. And they'll ask down at first his feet as best they can. See some ginger steps if he gets base hits. Cabrera's 2-2 pitch is in there for a called strike three. Froze him on the breaking ball. That'll bring up Dansby Swanson. Takes a pitch outside. And back.
And it chops in for a strike.
Yeah, controlling the inner third of the plate against Ronald Acuna Jr.
But what that does too is, as a hitter, kind of knocks you off the plate a little bit to get it in on him.
Another good season for the free agent to be, Dansby Swanson, who draws the walk. Oh, have you seen Pablo had some first inning issues, and a lot of young pitchers. That was a 29 pitch first inning that last time out. A 53% hard hit rate. 53% hard hit rate. Keep in mind that league average. That one taken low.
Jeez.
Yeah. And some MVP types on that list as well. A strikeout.
These guys in attack.
First pitch to Matt Olson, a slider in there for a strike. 0 for 19 slump over his last 5+ games. Grounds one to first base. Lewin starts the 3-6-1 double play. You want to be on the positive side of things. Contreras to lead things off. And he takes a low strike. Contreras, Harris, and Grissom. The ball inside. Cut on and missed right there. You saw the numbers. 1-2 is taken upstairs at 96 miles an hour. Ground ball, base hit. And let's check in with Kelly Sacco.
Slider, it sweeps away hard and goes down as well. That changeup, which already has at curveball, for instance, has such a pounding the zone and show them how valuable their stuff plays. You mentioned how it was something that he used with Sandy really early on when he was
with 4 or 5 strikeouts and working deeper into the ball game. And I mean, Gabby, you've swung a bat before once or twice in your career. You know that barrel's not.
You don't want to fall behind. You don't want to get to 2 strikes against Sandy, so you're going to have early contact.
Ground ball to second base. Back-to-back innings with a double play.
Out for Cabrera. This is right where you want to be.
Facing Grissom, who takes a pitch down and away. Lead the league in whiff percentage, while we're talking advanced metrics here. To be successful, you can just miss the barrel.
Hit a little bit more. In my opinion, the way that you do that is by throwing that sinker a little bit more. You need.
Faced. Vaughn Grissom takes a strike. But great writing, as he is one, and also a thing or two about advanced metrics, so we'll discuss that. I'll tell you what, this strike zone's been interesting in this at-bat. It's now 3-2.
Should be down in the zone as a hitter. You're like, okay, well, now what do I do? I have to be swinging.
Well, I know it's different now with all the. Apparently, it's all that extra service time, I guess. And Cabrera gets the strikeout. My friend App is doing just fine. Thanks for asking. Marcell Ozuna takes ball 1 against Edward Cabrera here in the 3rd. And there's a strike. I tell you what, the strike zone has been.
You understand, I might need to swing the bat a little bit here. And then, see, you get some pitches.
Right. And there are 2 schools of thought. 2 balls and a strike. And there's a cut and a miss. As promised, we are great to talk with you, of course, from ESPN and SB Nation, Fox Sports, 6 books. I mean, you've been in and around the.
That I was close to wrote a long time ago. And that is, everything counts. Now, some things count more than others. no question, but a reliable plate.
And as long as it's easily digestible from an audience of the millions of things that we can look at right now, you've never seen the Marlins and the Braves together as Ozuna gets the base hit down the right field line, thinking about two.
You need from the old standby. I think that that's the beauty of baseball, is that we've had those. Who's been more valuable this year, Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge? That takes a little more work.
Do those numbers play different than when, let's say, he's in a slump and he's not really swinging the bat well?
Slump will become a great player again, and vice versa, I suppose. Now, if you're looking at particular players, though, you always
like WAR. It's something that I think a lot of us are a lot more familiar with lately over the last maybe 10 or 12 years or so when it comes to
the only thing that some of us are looking at. And that's probably true. There are probably some people who don't look at anything else. But, and that doesn't make a lot of sense either, because they can mean quite a lot. Clutch hitting is incredibly important. But if you're trying to look at, well, I guess I should have spent a few hours looking at this, because honestly, that's how long it would take me. I happen to think that the above replacement is not quite, perhaps last time I checked anyway, at the level of Judges. Here's another example.
Below Aaron Judge, but listen, it's
right.
It's a fun discussion to have, and frankly, it's a responsibility. Hall of Fame. It's a tremendous responsibility because it ends up bearing down on the history of the game.
And went straight down that list, or nearly so. And I always feel like something had to have been missed there.
Hall of Fame, I figured, oh yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, I'll just move on to the next guy. And then you pull up the baseball reference page to find out he won all those gold gloves that I kind of forgot about. It's funny. There's just there's so much Edward Cabrera and the spin rate and what makes him so effective as well. And perhaps we'll talk about that after he just got strike 3. So the curveball, and Acuna Jr. and Austin Riley also pretty good against the slider as well. So again, I don't know necessarily how much that goes into a pregame scouting report. The story.
Well, I guarantee you that it goes a big part, especially with Mel Stoudemire talking about those numbers. He's going to crush. That slider is going to do that, and that's why he's had a lot of success with it.
Throw him a breaking ball.
Don't throw him a breaking ball.
Slider, curveball. That was the curveball, kids, and that's a home run. .439 for Austin Riley in a 1-0 Braves lead as Matt Olson takes a strike.
You can just see it's so well. That backside stays back. It goes through that baseball, stays inside of it. That way he's able to keep it. And there's the proof.
And that's 4 straight games with a home run for Austin Riley. 1 and 2 now on Olson.
He's probably in the top of the list of every pitch category.
Everything, yeah. It's 2 and 2 on Olson. Takes it high. Swing and a miss. Apologize for Olson's frustrations there as that strikeout number 5. One away for William Contreras. That's a high pop right side of the infield. And Lewin Diaz makes the catch. Now I'm at here. That was a home run for Riley. That leads Major League Baseball. Check that. The national 15 home runs so far for Harris. That one way in off the plate.
Look at numbers, you would think, okay, in certain situations, we're going to throw the breaking ball.
Cabrera ready. 1-2 pitch coming. That one misses outside. Now the 2-2. Right back up the middle, off the second base bag and into center field. When you're hot,
The base and goes directly to first, and you're out.
there's a strike two, or two there for the home plate umpire, Mark Rippiger, after strike one. Swings through strike two. One ball and two strikes, and fouled off of Grissom. 1-2 coming. Tipped and held on to by Fortes. Well, the leadoff home.
A long-time Major League umpire, I'm sure Gabby remembers him, Dale Scott, and that was a real thrill. The book. My day job of sorts is actually I am the commissioner. I'm sure everyone listening or watching is familiar with the Cape Cod League, which is the greatest summer collegiate.
Make it the greatest, right, as commissioner?
Well, the Cape League is always going to be tough because you can see all the top prospects.
Against Eddie Rosario. How do you think that has affected the game, number one? Second part of that question would be, are you on board with the potential banning of shifts?
First, I sort of enjoy the chess match and seeing how different teams come up with different answers, because that places, well, they don't. It doesn't happen that way. Everybody does it differently, which makes me think there's an actual.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, bro.
I was going to say, as far as the impact, clearly it's had an impact on what we might what.
When I was playing, you basically only shifted on a couple of guys. You had your Ryan Howard, you had your Prince Fielders. Right. The big take advantage of it, especially when they get to two strikes, and just putting the ball in play the other way. As we almost just finished seeing right now with Rosario up to bat.
Are willing or able to change their hitters' philosophies happen, but I think it's just not an easy thing to do, either physically or mentally. So our shortstop in short right field, maybe that's just a little too much.
It's interesting. 2016 and 17 was actually 300. Now that's a scale that we're all familiar with. This year, you go back to just getting more action in the ball game. I think banning the shift.
Most of us want to see, as fans, as broadcasters, as league commissioners, whatever it is, I think what we want is base hit. So the problem is, the real issue with with batting average, the overall batting average.
Time of the insight and the conversation. We hope to talk to you soon.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks, guys. That was great.
All right. Excellent stuff.
And then here's a slider, here's a fastball out over the plate.
But the issue with the Braves, let's see, with another good season, a first-time All-Star earlier this summer, taps it foul. A different definition, or you can find it online now and not just some eye test from a scout somewhere. Long throw across the diamond. Swanson is out.